Deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man.
Come on, Ian, as the big man Ian Wright just said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Simply put, latest Arsenal news show. Let's go over the tabloids that are beginning to link us with several footballers as we approach the end of the Premier League season, or just better yet, the domestic club level football, and we head to the Euros and we head to the transfer window. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Don't forget to get the creative juices flowing. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm okay because a live stream or a video with you lot is always a day that makes my day. Hay fever is absolutely destroying me, people. I'm seeing white, I'm hearing white noise, and I'm seeing mist at the moment, but I'm trying my best to make it look wavy. Now, Oshimhen, it feels like life where Arsenal striker search concerns us is going full circle. We've seen Oshimhen, Ivan Toney, Vlahovic, Gyökeres, Zertsky, the list goes on. And Oshimhen was linked with us really aggressively. It kind of went quiet and it's come back again. For what it's worth, for my 2 pence, I was wrong about us signing Aubameyang. I didn't think we'd get him. So maybe that's a positive omen. But I think Arsenal personally have moved away from Oshimhen. I think with his wages, with the release clause and all the other money that's involved, as much as you have to pay for quality and a game changer up front, I think Arsenal will just step away from it, if I'm honest. But Goal.com have released something and said why Victor Oshimhen is willing to reject PSG transfer in favour of Arsenal or Chelsea move. To be fair, PSG, to cope with the departure of Mbappe, probably need to integrate Xavi Simons, who's been linked with Barcelona. Probably need to make Oshimhen and Rafa Leao, who both used to play for Lille, return to the French league, people. But apparently he's reportedly willing to reject a move to PSG in favour of a Premier League transfer. Me personally, I think he ends up at Chelsea. We all know he signed a new release clause in December for around 113 million. Now, there are some reports that kind of insinuate that fluctuates. You've seen as low as 100 million and as high as 130. And just from a business point of view, of course, 25 years of age, 100 odd million, the striker market isn't the greatest. You have to spend the going rate, really, but you would imagine whether it's Arsenal, PSG, Chelsea and PSG are more likely to blow large sums at it. From a business point of view, you want to negotiate that smaller if you can, people. As we know, he's been linked with a whole host of clubs. Italian journalist Marzio, who said Declan Rice would reject Arsenal for City, make of that what you will, would rather play in the Premier League next season rather than return to Liga. Pardon me. We have heard people that Chelsea have been in talks with Napoli over a cash plus player transfer. Lukaku, who's obviously done well in Italy, has been relinked with such a move, people. And we all know, and some people forget, he actually left Leao for Napoli for a good fee, as it says there, man. 60 odd million quid, people. $75 million, I believe. So, yeah, and he's done well. He won the Scudetto over there and whatnot. I mean, it doesn't be disappointed with that. It just says it doesn't really say why he would reject to move to PSG in favour of Arsenal or Chelsea. And obviously the law of the Premier League, the London lifestyle, boyhood Chelsea fan, I guess that's where we're at, people. According to DiMarzio, Oshimhen would rather play in the Premier League than in Liga. You know what? Let's actually, off the cuff, see if there's any other articles that have a bit more specifics around that, really. So as you're seeing online, you know, the swap deal with Lukaku and Chelsea is there. What's this saying? We know we've been linked with Gyökeres, Ivan Toney, and obviously Oshimhen, people. And we all know Arsenal probably have an interest in him. DiMarzio has said the possibility of playing in France again does not excite Oshimhen, who has already played there with Lille. Clearly, playing with PSG is different because you play games like tonight's Champions League semi-final, but his preference is England. Arsenal and Chelsea are two teams that could take Oshimhen, and as long as that possibility is open, he'll wait. Fair enough, really and truly. So I guess everything is up for debate there. Barca meet with agent of top Arsenal target but face major problem. I don't think we're going to get Zubimendi. It seems like his heart is set on one day reuniting with Xabi Alonso, who helped him at Sociedad. But for what it's worth, Barcelona are stepping up their pursuit of Real Sociedad's Martin Zubimendi, but rival suitors Arsenal still hold a significant advantage, according to reports in Spain. As we know, the 25-year-old has enjoyed another strong campaign with Sociedad and is getting interest from Arsenal, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich. Mikel Arteta has been a long-term admirer of him and allegedly tried to get him in January of 2023. And I'm sure we was actually linked with him the January before, people. And as we all know, there are question marks both over Jorginho and Thomas Partey's future. Meanwhile, fresh from U-turning on his decision to leave Camp Nou, Xavi has identified Zubimendi as his primary summer target and the player capable of filling finally filling the void left by Sergio Busquets. According to Spanish newspaper Sport, it is Barcelona who are leading the chase, with sporting director Deco having met with Zubimendi's agent Inaki Ibanez on Monday. The midfielder is keen to move to Barcelona, though it was made clear to Deco that Sociedad will not enter into negotiations and will only allow Zubimendi to leave if his release clause is paid in full. Interested clubs can sign the Spaniard for 60 million euros in brackets 52.6, but that fee would need to be paid in one upfront installment, something Barcelona are not in a position to do. And now, obviously, we're a lot stronger financially than Barcelona, but I don't know how much our budget is, and I don't know where it spreads. And I don't know what Mikel Arteta wants to do in all areas. So naturally, again, from a business point of view, you probably want to set up that deal in more favourable terms. And we have seen Arsenal at times be prepared to pay more than a potential release clause if the terms and the installments and when money is due is more favourable. The Catalan club will therefore need to make a major sell. So does that mean we're getting De Jong? I can dream, can't I? Before they can move for Zubimendi, which gives Arsenal, who have no such issues, a big advantage. Barcelona, it says here, are still intending to try. Zubimendi has played down speculation surrounding his future, people. They're just rumours. I'm happy at Sociedad. It's like my home. I cannot say that I'll play my entire career at Real Sociedad. Perhaps the club won't want me to continue in the future, but I do not concern myself with these rumours. So make of that what you will, people. We've seen that already with Zubimendi, so we can keep it going. Samu, who is a young player on loan at Deportivo from Atletico Madrid, a young striker, has once again been linked with Arsenal and Spurs. Can't pretend I know him religiously. Does look like he's got the raw tools to be a decent forward. As for his potential, if he's the right fit, his strengths and weaknesses, you're asking the wrong individual, people. But it doesn't surprise me that we're being linked with different strikers of different calibers. He has a release clause of 80 to 100 million euros, people. He's drawing interest from both North London clubs in Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. So we'll need to see exactly what's going to happen in that regards, people. Moving away from that, Arsenal have been told that Bologna forward Joshua Zirkzee is not up to scratch when compared with other attacking targets. We've been linked with Isaac, Zirkzee, Gyökeres, Oshimhen, as we just went over, Ivan Toney once upon a time, and plenty of others. Charles Watts has said, there's a long list of strikers who have been linked to Arsenal ahead of the summer window. Some are real big hitters, such as Isaac at Newcastle and Oshimhen at Napoli, but there are some who are slightly less well known, with Joshua Zirkzee at Bologna one of those. I don't think his goal scoring exploits stand out a lot, but all the other facets of a modern day striker, especially playmaking and dropping deep, he fits the billing of what Arsenal would like. He's a forward Arsenal have been keeping tabs on, according to some well-placed sources. Arsenal's interest in Zirkzee was first broke in January by Sam Dean at the Daily Telegraph, and it's a link that continues to bubble away as we head towards the summer. He's an interesting player, one who looks destined for a big move soon. Been linked with Juventus, and there's technically a buyback clause at Bayern Munich, although dislodging Harry Kane is no easy feat at all. Charles Watts went on to say, I can't pretend to be an expert on him. He's not someone I've seen a lot of, but he's clearly got potential and would add something to Arsenal's squad that they don't really have in attack. So what would it be in your opinion? Whether he would move the needle enough for Arsenal, though, at this point, I'm not sure. I feel Arsenal are at a point now where any big money signings really need to come in and improve the squad immediately. I'm not sure Zirkzee does that. It'd be a case of buying potential while there's always room for that. Arsenal really need a forward who will come in and hit the ground running. That's why I still feel they'll throw everything at getting Isaac from Newcastle. That would be amazing. Let me know your thoughts in that regard. This is completely irrelevant, but I was just reading something on The Athletic in relation to Barcelona, and it's gone on to talk about their pursuits of Zubimendi and Kimmich. This is actually said they believe Kimmich would have considered a move last year if the club had been in a position to make an offer. Now, with his contract due to expire in the summer of 2025, it's likely a decision will be made on his future. And if he were to choose not to extend that deal, sell could make sense for all parties. So where the 29 experienced Kimmich, who we saw across the two legs against us play very well and score, hopefully that's one Arsenal attempt to circle back on, people. And despite him having a year left on his deal, he probably wouldn't come cheap. I couldn't begrudge him for being at Bayern Munich, winning there is all there is, being enticed by not only playing for Barcelona, but playing for a legendary player, now manager in Xavi. But I would love Kimmich. I know people say, oh, he's 29, but it is what it is. Speaking of people in their late 20s, Arsenal allegedly are prepared to cash in on Gabriel Jesus at the end of the season. Apparently, Arsenal have already informed the 27-year-old striker that they'd be open to accepting a reasonable offer this summer. As you know, he's only got 4 goals in the league, and he has had an injury hit campaign. Been linked linked with going back on loan to Palmeiras, being sold to Saudi Arabia, actually staying and signing a new deal at Arsenal, and being one that's made available, and several other things in that. Even been linked with Inter Milan as well, people. In fact, it says here the player is reportedly a target for Saudi Arabian clubs, and it remains to be seen whether they'll come forward with a lucrative proposal for the Brazilian this summer. And where you look at Edu and his staff going over to Saudi Arabia, could there obviously be business development elements, but could that also be finding a market? Because we've obviously got players who are past their sell-by date, respectfully. Kieran Tierney, Lokonga, Tavares, these people be moved on. When you look, and then you could extend that to Reece Nelson, potentially Smith Rowe, potentially Eddie Nketiah, and many others, Ramsdale as well. Then you look at players that I think the club won't actively push out, but whether it's freeing up wages, putting resources elsewhere, the system leaving them, there'll be potential offers. And that's where the Gabriel Jesus, Thomas Partey kind of players come into this. And Saudi Arabia seem to be queuing up for experienced players. So maybe if Arsenal could sell to that market, that is something, but we can't get drawn on that. Young Cozier Duberry is yet to agree contract terms with any club and is considering his options amid interest from sides around Europe. Now, for me, it's not a season wasted, but it is a season wasted because he should be outside of his comfort zone and playing first team football somewhere. Newcastle have been interested, Ajax, Anderlecht, a bunch of clubs, a lot of championship clubs aggressively tried to sign him. I don't know for how good he can really be. I don't quite buy the, comparing him to Bukayo Saka. I don't think that's helpful, but there are similarities. And at 18 years of age, I do believe, there could have been more of a crack of the whip for him at this club. Now, I'm not saying that he won't get an opportunity at Arsenal, but at 18 years of age, having been nominated and maybe even won, if I can remember, Player of the Month in Premier League 2, scored a cracking goal against Man United at under 21s level and did well against Liverpool. Arsenal might bring in another winger. If they keep Gabriel Jesus, that is an option. Martinelli and Saka are also ahead of you. Trossard's in the mix. Reece Nelson might be sold, but he's still ahead. And Cozier Duberry's been nowhere near the first team in that regard. With your contract running down, I hope the club will give you an opportunity because you have had little bits and pieces in friendlies. But for him, you probably need to get past the romance of Arsenal Football Club and being a fan and go somewhere where there's a clearer path to the first team, where you can settle, get some stability, get some experience and make some inroads, people. And we know he's being tracked. There's a bunch of clubs that will be interested in him. Apparently, he's not agreed any terms with any contract at this moment, any contract or terms with any team at this moment in time. But it says clubs from Belgium, which this is all facts actually. Belgium, Denmark, Germany, Netherlands, Scotland, and Spain are all interested in him, people. And Mario is very exciting, and Mikel likes him. Wilshere told The Athletic last year. He reminds me of Saka, plays in the same position as him, needs to get better with his decision making like Bukayo did, but he's definitely exciting. True. In some moments, he's unplayable. You give him the ball and he can make things happen. You can set up a team and have a game plan, but when you've got individuals like that, you've got a chance. Big him up, man. I would love for him to get opportunities. Chelsea are being linked with goalkeepers. They've been linked with England duo Jordan Pickford and Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale still continuously being linked with Chelsea, so we'll have to monitor that, people. Destiny Doué, Desire Doué, I think it's Destiny Doué, a player I've done videos for, a French youth international, making inroads in Rennes in France. I think the 18-year-old's got everything. He plays with a swagger, lovely technical ability, great in tight pockets, good little body feints and all of that. And he plays in a position where some fans say, you know what, we probably need depth, because if Odegaard isn't in that 10 kind of role, we're in trouble. I know there's other options we can do. Me personally, I think young Ethan is being groomed to players at 8 and a 10 for this football club long term. I do think he'll get opportunities out wide on occasion. But for what it's worth, Doué is getting interest from Barcelona, Arsenal, obviously, Atletico Madrid, Napoli, Borussia Dortmund have been following him since he was 15, 16, actually, people. And he's a huge talent. Arsenal and Manchester United, as well as Aston Villa, Chelsea and Newcastle, have been tracking him for the last 12 months. Apparently, Premier League clubs are also looking at Barcelona's Victor Roque, who hasn't really set the world alight after joining Barcelona in January. Apparently, Arsenal remain keen on bolstering their options at left back this summer, with Ajax's Joel Hatto of interest to the North London club. That would be amazing, people. I mean, half of these rumours would be lit. Let me know your thoughts on Cozier Duberry, on Oshimhen, on Zubimendi, on Kimmich, and on everything else we've discussed, people. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I'm sure at some point across this video, you would have seen other video links for my content browsing around and flying to the left and right of your screen. So make sure you're supporting that. At the time of making this video is Champions League business, so I will be doing a watch along. I'll be live 10 minutes before kickoff for, at the time of making this video, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. But that's all we've got to discuss. Stay safe, stay blessed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and let's get aggressively going, people, and get some motion, and let's get to 60,000 subscribers. Peace.